want to check and on Facebook, and again, you can share it and make sure that the picture sounds looks good to you. This is Marco again.
John has that hood.
Yeah.
Stuff, because if you don't, I'm going to throw it all out in the trash. There's the amp, there's wood, there's the pickups. Marco Melka's wife. So John says, wait a minute, hold on.
Like, you guys are all in the picture, which is great.
Can you set it up for me, or?
You want to do a watch party? So just leave it up, and it's like sharing it. Whoops.
Hey, Elvis ended in IS. Maybe he has some Greek in him.
There you go.
You get any extra of this stuff? It's all Elvis.
Okay. So this is a watch party, and so you'll see people making comments. It'll be shared in the thing.
What was the Turkish title for the Arabic song Ayazin that Harry used to sing?
No idea. Oh yeah, yeah.
That's one of the
He didn't say Ayazini, whatever he said. Someone called me and said this song, and I played it a zillion times, but do I know the name of the song? No,
Yeah.
I don't know the name. Because Harry never said, let's play, you know, he would just do stuff.
That's right, exactly.
Okay, we're gonna go. The automatic ID hasn't been kicking in, so it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. There it goes.
Okay, you're not lined up on the Facebook share. All right on here is Kenny and Leon.
And you are tuned to WNTN 1550 AM in Needham, Cambridge, and Boston. It is the Echoes of Keftime, the Armenian Hour. Your host, Meleti Pouliopoulos, who will be here with you for the next hour. Today we have a special tribute to Mr. Harry Minassian, who passed away sadly recently. And we have some old friends of his and fellow musicians in the studio. They're going to be presenting a program of music in memory of Harry. And we have Leon Janikian, who is here. And Leon has been here before in our studio. Ken Kalajian, who is a wonderful guitar player and has been playing. These fellows are really giants on the music scene here. So giants honoring a giant of music, someone that inspired them. Mr. John Barbarian is here. And we have Joe Koyumjan. And Joe, I want to say kalimera to you first and to thank you for pulling together all of these folks for this. Why don't we say hello? And so it sounds pretty good, but we've got to bring you closer to the microphones when you'll be talking.
Okay.
And so tell us, folks, Joe, I understand that Harry was your teacher at one point.
In the early 60s, I had the pleasure of training with him for a couple of years, and that was a big part of my life musically. A wonderful person, a great teacher, and he shared a lot of knowledge, and he gave me the steps to stay in this business.
So you were in Watertown, that's where you knew him from?
Yeah, he lived on Hazel Street, same street as Kenny's family was from. I visit him every Saturday morning and wake him up from the club work the night before and say, Harry, time to get up, and he go, and he was very good. He spent a lot of time
okay, great.
with me, and I'm just very happy with that.
Well, I appreciate actually all of you coming in today to to honor Harry, and we'll be talking a little, go back a little bit more to the mics. We're going to try to do this as an acoustic, live and unplugged. We'll be playing some music here, and in just a minute. So to get us in that mood, and we are streaming, by the way, on Facebook, so you can find us there. We'll be streaming for the hour. So please click hello there and enjoy the program. We're going to set up with the instruments right now, but kick it off with one of Harry's songs. Is it picking up all of you?
No, the camera only shows the three.
It's not showing you, Joe? Sorry about that. Let me try to... Oh, wow, the AC is coming in. No, you're actually... It's because of the way you're holding your phone. Tilt your phone this way and you'll see everyone. No, that's a picture. You took a picture. Or it froze. Go back into it. Go back to my wall. I have all of you. Are you guys ready to play, or what do you want to do?
The only one playing is John.
John, you're going to play?
Just Kenny and I that have instruments with us, so
Okay.
we'll play 1, 2, or...
Okay, that's great. Yep, you can bring that, if you could bring that microphone close to the edge there, that would be great. And,
Okay.
okay, and between the two, I should be able to pick you guys up okay.
He's gonna play along first number.
Okay,
Then maybe we'll play together afterwards.
okay, that's great. You want to take calls? Yeah, we should.
Definitely.
Okay, so this song has 2 minutes left.
Okay, so
Should I?
I'll play my thing first. We'll play together.
Feels like it's cooling down in here. I'm not sure.
It's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
We can't make it for 1 hour.
I know. I've been in here. It's been like this all morning. Oh, good.
Yeah, buddy. All three on the table. No, I don't think it's how much we missed Roger. That gig, he plays the song, playing the song. I just playing the song.
Playing the notes.
I mean, you just forget. I love that video. I remember those days. And you said, almost made me cry. I thought it was never ends. It's never going to be the same.
Leon, you did this record, right? Wow.
Don't say that.
Don't say it.
Come on, get over credit. Give credit where credit is. You're all right.
Kenny, you're on this too.
Yeah. Can't play the organ. It wasn't
Perfect. At one of Harry Minassian's classic records, self-titled Harry Minassian, and we had him there on oud and vocals. Hadji Kazarian played clarinet on the record, Roger Krikorian doumbek. Kenny Kalajian, who's here in the studio, had played guitar on that one. Chris Marashlian on bass, and Amir was on zills. Leon, do you have any idea when that was recorded?
in the early 80s.
Early 1980s.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Thank you so much. So you are tuned to the Echoes of Keftime here on WNTN. The Echoes of Keftime is an hourly Armenian program that is aired every Monday from 11 a.m. until noon. And as we mentioned just a little while ago, that we have some musicians here in the studio to do a tribute to Mr. Harry Minassian, who passed away sadly on June 26, 2020. He was 83 years old. He was born in 1937 in Brighton, Massachusetts, and he left many, many good memories for us and a lot of music. And so, without further ado, I think, John, you were going to start off with something for this?
Yes, Melody. First of all, thank you for inviting us. It certainly is an honor and a privilege to be here and to spend some time and memories of Harry Minassian. There was one song in particular that Harry loved to sing, and really we can't do justice to it for instrumentally only, because Harry was an entertainer. He played and sang, and some of the value, you might say, in the song is in the words and in the voice. But I made a somewhat of a little arrangement instrumentally of a tune of a song called Birich Dimal, which translated means there is one more possibility, as the title goes, and actually it's a love song, and the one more possibility was actually to die for one's loved one, and the song pretty much expresses that throughout. But I'll try and recreate this arrangement.
Gosh, that was just,
So very pretty.
that was
Something
so
like that.
beautiful. Wow, thank you so much for that. And that was that a song that reminded you of Harry, or did he? How did that come
Oh.
to mind for you?
Definitely reminded me of Harry. was many years ago when you know, I heard Harry play that song. Actually, it was a song written by an Armenian blind composer, musician, oud player. The world has heard of. His name is Udi Harant Kankulian, and he was the author of that song, and he made it popular. And Harry continued with that effort.
Do you know, did Harry take lessons from Udi Haran?
Harry did take some lessons
Yes.
from Udi Haran, yes.
Okay, he was probably one of the few people that did, right?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
John did too.
So how did that happen? Was Udi Haran around here? No,
We
Yes.
came here.
he was.
Well, he didn't live here.
No, he
Yeah.
came here. He was brought here, from what I know, through Charlie Jarayan.
It's true.
Is that
Old
right?
man Charlie would have something to sponsor him. Not sure of every detail, but
Yeah.
we would take Charlie Jarayan out after he got a little on an elderly age.
Yeah.
We would take him out to the gigs, and he would tell us all the stories about who he brought up, and it was interesting, very interesting how
Yeah.
we did it.
That's just amazing.
Well, Charlie told me that they wanted to see if Haran could get his sight regained. So they brought him here for the Mass Eye and Ear, but they couldn't do anything. But also he was here to play. And
Right.
he brought ouds, and he sold ouds, and he taught John, and he worked with a lot of different oud players. And I think John and Harry and maybe Chick and maybe Richard or Go, they all have diplomas from Haran.
As well as George Mugarditchi,
George
for that matter.
Mugarditchi,
Yeah.
yeah.
With the
With his
fingerprints.
thumbprint.
With the thumbprints.
Yeah.
Wow.
And at Harry's wake, that diploma was on
Yes, that
display.
diploma was.
Was it?
Very,
Oh.
very moving.
Yeah.
I think Joe was a little too young for that. Slightly
Can
too
I have
young.
yours, Johan?
Yes, you can have that. That in fact was dated 1969.
Yeah.
That's the date on that diploma. if
No
you will.
kidding.
Yeah, given to 5 oud players of the day. I'm sure there are so many more great oud players that came after, such as Joe, such as Mal, you know, that if Harant were around,
Sure.
he would have given the same to them, but we were at the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you just a quick little anecdote. Harry did express some regret to me once, because sometimes he would tell me things. I'm
Right.
sure he did this with everyone. He says, I had a chance to go into the Catskills and play with Haran for the summer.
Oh, wow.
He said, Haran said, I'll play violin, and you play the oud, and we'll have a good time, and you'll take me, he's
Yeah.
blind. Harry said, no, I think I'll stay here and play in the clubs in Boston.
Oh, really?
And he said to me, I do regret that, but it was the decision I made at the time.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so great. What years? I seem to remember that we have some old recordings actually going back to the late 40s when Udi had come through. Is that possible? Am I hallucinating?
No. it's
So
possible.
it's really something, all of this history. And Charlie, when you mentioned Charlie the Old Man, I mean,
Charlie the Oil Man, Charlie Jarayan.
yeah, remember him?
Yeah,
So, geez, someone
And
who loved
at that
music.
time, Harry lived across the street from where Charlie was living on Hazel Street.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
So, Harry was in that sphere all the time.
Yeah, yeah. And so I know that you grew up in Watertown. Kenny, did you grow up in Watertown?
Right around the corner from Harry.
Oh,
I was
wow.
on Cypress Street. He was on Hazel.
Oh, jeez.
And as a matter of fact, I remember working at an Armenian grocery store, delivering groceries to Harry's mother.
Oh, really? What was his mother like? Was she sweet?
Oh, she was a sweet, sweet lady.
Oh.
We loved her. And,
Yeah.
typical Armenian little old lady, we're just waiting for the groceries. Of course, there was no coronavirus back then. We didn't have to worry about anything as far as bringing
Yeah.
things to houses and stuff.
Right.
It was wonderful.
One of Harry's signature songs that he always would do,
Yeah.
just accompanied by Ken usually, sometimes Roger too, would be Amen, which in Turkish means mama, that he adapted from Charles Aznavour, but added his own words.
Oh, no
And
kidding.
it always was a heart-wrenching.
Oh, gee,
Yeah.
that's so great. Did you record any of those sessions back then?
We
Did
have
you
been
tapes?
on recordings, but it was mostly live.
Yeah.
Anna, I think, was on maybe one album that we did with in New York. Yeah, he did the album in New York with Mama.
Wow.
on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so great.
Yeah.
He played it all the time.
Did he?
Played Birk de Mal all the time.
Right, right. We there's a whole set of music that everyone sort of recognizes as Harry's songs, you know.
Yeah.
And so, where did he perform other than the festivals? I assume. What were the clubs? Because it seems that I heard he was down at the Governor Dyer's and
Governor
further.
Dyer's, Seventh Veil, that was big.
Oh.
He was there for years, at least 13 or 15 years at least.
No kidding.
Back and forth
And
on the weekends.
The root of it, he was at the Embers.
Yeah.
Peacock.
Embers and-
Peacock,
and,
That's right.
which
Cobb's.
where else?
That's very old, huh? Cobb's.
Probably in El Morocco,
Cayenne?
Boston,
Do you
right?
play the
Yeah,
Cayenne?
that's where I got my job from when I left.
El Morocco, maybe Club Cayenne, maybe Club Zara once in a while.
No
Yeah.
kidding. Jeez. Yeah, he, you know, I go back to that first record that he recorded, the Middle East Enchantments record, because it's, there's so many great songs on that, and I have so many good memories of it. And yet I wonder, did Karnak play with him? Did they, I mean, they play out, or were these
Sure.
studios? Really?
Absolutely.
Clubs.
Absolutely.
No kidding.
And Connie was one of his favorites for bringing in the jokes, because Harry was a joke lover.
Was he?
And when you talk about jokes, he had the heartiest laugh you could ever think of.
Oh, wow.
Just full laughter.
Such a great guy. I remember just a few years ago, Joe, that you had organized some sessions at the Shiraz out in Watertown to honor Harry. They were sold out nights, and maybe there were 2 or 3 of them, I think, over a couple years
Yeah,
span.
actually, John and I put that together, and John was part of the group, and he played the violin.
John, you brought your violin
and he
for
played
that.
the oud, and he played everything, and then that was pretty good.
Is it? You know, it's interesting to me that there are the oud players who play violin.
That's right. There's quite a few of them, as a matter of fact. Richard Hagokin played violin. Harry Minassian himself, in his early days, did take the violin up, but of course his featured instrument was the oud. But there was, let me see, who else?
Bob Rafaelian.
Bob.
Rafaelian.
Right.
Viola, violin and viola.
Violin and viola. Wow. So for first instruments, is it generally that people would start with violin and then go to the oud, or what do you find?
Well, you know, I started as a very young child picking up the oud because my father played it. So I grew up with the oud in the house, so to speak, and my father felt that although oud is fine, he wanted me to play a more Western instrument, so I played and I took lessons on the violin. After about 6 years of taking violin lessons, my heart was still in the oud, and he gave up. He says, "Okay, you want the oud?" I said,
what are you gonna do? That's the way it goes.
you know, we spoke about. I don't know if you had something else in mind.
No.
But we spoke about clubs before that Harry played at.
Yeah.
And my first experience with Harry was back in around 1961 when I first dated my wife. At that time, the first week of our dating, I went to 3 nightclubs with her, and all 3 were places that Harry played at in that first week.
Really?
Yeah, the Embers, the Peacock, and Cobb. So I remember those days, and music and romance sort of went together for me.
There you
So
go.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And the Jumbo Lounge, remember he was there too.
Tuesday nights at the Jumbo.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot the Jumbo.
Yeah,
I think
Absolutely.
Connie was a mainstay.
Connie was there.
Yeah.
he was really.
Greg Jamie,
Greg Jamie.
George Regalis.
George. Gotta bring up George's name.
Yeah, George was there. They were about the same age, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Roughly,
close,
right?
very close.
They had a long
Yeah.
history together. They were both in the El Jazair band.
Oh, that's
George.
right. Yeah.
They were different personnel, but yeah, I mean Harry's in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gary Alexandrian.
Freddie was off playing. I mean, I know he.
Joe might know better about this, but
Yeah.
Fred played in that.
Freddie was everywhere.
Yeah,
Freddie was everywhere, huh?
But he
but I
was
think Zaven Takvorian was
one of the irregulars.
one of the regulars in
Right.
Manchester, yeah.
Wow. Where was the Peacock Club? I don't remember that.
In Worcester, right?
Yes.
In Worcester area.
Oh, it was
That
good.
was a very. They had the Red Pony. Then they had like 4 or 5
Yeah.
clubs going, and that's a big. That was a big Armenian community too,
And
right?
now everyone stays home and watches TV.
Yeah, right. You are tuned to the Echoes of Kef Time. It's the Armenian Hour here on WNTN 1550 AM. We're going to take a break and have a word from some of our sponsors.
9 Mount Auburn Street, Watertown. Family owned and
sponsors?
operated. You're
Nice.
always sure to find something special
Now, I
at
wanna see if
Sevon.
this is
From
the
their
song.
ovens, you'll find an incredible variety of crusty breads, foot eggs, baklava, and more. Sevon Bakery
actually
also
edited
carries
this
a wide
this morning.
variety of
This isn't
olives,
it.
nuts, dried fruits, lemon, and more. And don't forget, a nice selection of beer and wine. Sevon Bakery, Watertown.
You're listening to WNTN 1550 AM and WNTN.com. Boston's hub for
Yeah,
international
this is
radio
it.
and specialty programs.
I'm Jay Simmons. I'm here with my friend and longtime colleague, Professor Brendan McConville, and we're the historians, coming to you from the banks of the Charles River with all
Not
new
yet.
episodes,
But you gotta call
Saturday
again.
mornings from 8
we
to
gotta
9
call.
on
Who's gonna call
WNTN
us?
Radio
Say when, I'll call
1550 AM.
Should I give the number out? And we're back here. That was a quick run of commercials. I do want to just say, if you'd like to sponsor the show here, we'd really appreciate it. Our office telephone number is 781-559-3270. We have a special live and unplugged today to remember Harry Minassian, who recently passed away. In our studio is Leon Janikian, Ken Kalajian, John Barbarian, and Joe Kuyumjan. And we're sharing some memories. I'd like to play a track, if we could, and hear Harry from his first record. For some reason, this came to me this morning as I was driving in, and I thought about it, so I hope it fits well right here. Okay, folks, what do you think? Do you want to do another song?
Want to do a song, John?
Yeah, sure.
What's the number here?
One of you better.
The telephone number is right behind you, 781-559-3300.
How'd you get to you? Did you pick up the phone?
Yeah, he'll hear music until I pick up the phone. He'll hear the live broadcast. Maybe he can call on the break. And a Rossian is listening from Providence, Rhode Island. Stephanie Masonian, Joyce Yeremian, twice watching from Rhode Island. Oh, this is Harry.
Any ideas, John?
Either we can do that ISN number, or we could
Okay, we got John. We've got
shoot this with our car.
Harry. Yeah, get my Harry some stuff. He's on the phone now. We've got him.
That's not bad. Would be good. What do you think?
Yeah, he's listening to the
Yeah,
program.
that's
He's listening to the live broadcast.
That's not bad. Would be good.
We did all those numbers.
So this has about a minute left.
He was in good form for this.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of, all musicians have certain licks that you hear all the time.
Yeah.
This is filled with them.
This is from those licks, right? When I talk to Joe, it's funny, I listen to Joe and his like singing the way he plays, and I can hear this influence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always thought that Harry Harry had a certain affinity with Marco Melkon. I
Did, huh? Yeah.
Hey, Joey.
Can you sing that?
Oh, I
It'd be nice if we all sang it, right?
you know the words?
This
I know
is
that one. We
was
can
a
do that
new
one.
solo by Harry Minassian from his record Middle East Enchantments, which I'm not sure. It was Mace Records. Do you folks have an idea of what year that was? Any idea?
It was Mace Records. They probably bought the rights from another company because Mace was out of New York.
It was a different Mace, I think. I'm not sure. It was a real local production, but it seems so long ago. I asked George Regelis when I interviewed him, and I know I have it somewhere on tape. I just can't remember.
Was that a standard colonial imprint, do you think? Or something?
Yeah,
Oh, you think so?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, because it was really, really well recorded.
Bob, what's his name? Bob, doesn't matter.
We have joining on phone, I think we have Harry Bedrosian. Good morning, Harry. Good, how are you doing? Okay. I'm so thank you for calling in. How does the program sound so far?
Was is that from the album that was, you know, it's a red cover?
Yes, that's right.
That's with Yedi Yazma, the Belly Girl, right?
Yes.
And that picture was actually taken at the Seventh Veil.
He is.
Remember my father buying that in like 1966.
Okay, yeah. That's what I heard from someone else. They thought it was right around 1965 or 1966 or so. Yeah. So, Harry, are you going to be able to stay with us on the line, because we have John and Ken just picked up their instruments again. I think they're ready to go into a song. But if you could stay with us, that would be great.
Harry knows the words. He can sing.
Oh, Harry knows the words.
Saba.
Oh man, I wish the connection was well enough to. I wish I was a good enough technician to have you sing along. It's so great. All right. So folks, what do you think?
Okay, the song that Harry also made famous is one called Her Saba, and Kenny and I could do that.
Oh, that'd be great.
All right.
Don't stop now. Don't stop now. Don't stop now.
It just sounds so good. How does it sound, Teddy? Did you hear it downstairs?
Terrific. Listen downstairs on the internet. I even watched a little on Facebook Live. You got all kinds of comments, and
oh, that's so great.
you know, the Greeks love the Armenians, and the Armenians love the Greeks, right?
You got it.
That's
You know,
it.
I don't know if Teddy mentioned that his wife is Armenian.
Yeah, he did.
Yes,
mention
It's a
that.
small world.
Yeah.
Oh, he said he had Armenian music only at his wedding.
Yeah, is that right?
We had an Armenian band, but of course they knew the Greek music.
We were privileged to play.
Yeah.
You know, the Armenians, they play the Kalamatiana,
Oh,
the
all of them,
Salmika,
all of them, all of them.
You
Yeah,
know,
I
just-
met my wife at an Armenian dance, a kef time, down the Cape, 1984. 1984, Sheraton. The Sheraton. The Sheraton.
Harry was probably playing.
Probably Harry was probably playing sometime in March.
Yep.
Maybe
Yep.
there have been a
First
winter
That would have been the getaway weekend.
getaway weekend. Well, I got away and I never come back.
ASA getaway weekend. John could have been playing. Joe could have been playing.
Yeah.
That's so
We're all
funny.
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those were great weekends.
Yeah.
I think Harry's still with us. Yeah, Harry, you still there? Okay, good. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Joe and I can hear you because we have our headphones on. When we put on the microphones and it sort of cuts out. But
Yeah,
okay,
if you
now
shut their
try-
mics off, if you shut the other mics off,
Yeah,
but that's
let's
not going to
try to do
happen.
that
Yeah.
All right.
No, not there.
Prevent feedback.
Now, okay,
It's difficult
yeah,
to
it's a little
have,
bit of
phone
feedback,
on.
but
Yeah,
you can
me too,
hear
for
in.
quite a
Yeah. So that was great. That was really great. Thank you so much for that. Do you have another song in mind?
Well, Joe, you want to sing something?
Yes.
Thinking of it.
Joe,
Yes. Yes.
A song and a little
Yes.
dance because
Yes. Let's go. Anything goes. How about
Oh, how about play something? What am I doing? You play.
Oh, there you go.
How about Tintin? Do you guys know Tintin?
We can do it.
Can we do Tintin?
Yeah, we could do that.
Let's do Tintin. It's one of my favorites.
Instrumentally, it's kind of repetitious without singing, but
Well, we've
We'll
got some.
play a
We've
short
got some
version.
vocals
Short,
here.
little short version. Yeah, that would be nice.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
I want to hear the vocals. Let's go.
That was so great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. There's talent in this one. Hey Vala. Hey Vala. Hey Vala. We got that
You
one.
guys are
Pasa
great.
para Galía,
Parangelia. Parangelia.
Pretty soon the money's gonna start being thrown here.
Leftake Khatura.
It's so great, great. Harry, were you gonna say something? How did that sound? How does it sound, Harry? Because you're at the other end. You listening to the radio as well? A little Joe.
You hear Joe?
Wow, another thrill.
That would be great. Wow. We're in a special live and unplugged session as part of the Echoes of Keftan, the Armenian Hour on WNTN, 1550 AM. We are looking for sponsorship here on the program, so if you would like to sponsor this segment, we'd really appreciate it. Our office telephone number is 781-559-3270. That's the office telephone number if you'd like to take out a little sponsorship on this program, keep it going. Meanwhile, I am so happy that you folks have come in today share some memories on Harry. We're gonna miss him a lot. How is Gail holding up? How is she doing through all of this?
Gotta be tough.
Gotta be tough, right?
She's a wonderful lady, and God's overlooking, so she'll be fine.
She'll be okay. Yeah, yeah. It's tough. It really is. It sort of happened so suddenly. Just a shock.
She's got a strong family, so that'll really help out. She's got 3 strong boys and good daughter-in-laws. So
Oh, that's good.
It should work out fine as far as people being supportive for her.
That's great. I even though we're just coming out of this thing of isolation, it was nice that some people could gather for the wake and be there.
Yeah.
You know, that was really good.
We're all there.
Yeah.
You were all there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to come down, but I was caught up in my work up in New Hampshire, so it was hard to pull away. Sharing memories of Mr. Harry Minassian. I would like to kick in a song, if I could, from my playlist, just from a record that he had done, just to give us a little bit of a break, and have a sip of water, and we'll be right back.
That's Freddie.
It's Freddie, right?
Certain sound Fred has.
This is an album or this?
That's the album, yeah.
No.
Bahçede misimiz, sarılıp yere
Oh my God.
düşmüş. Sevdiğim
You didn't play this song very often.
aklıma
No.
You did once in a while.
Amanın vallahi, severim billahi,
Sabah, you think it's a Sabah?
severim billahi.
That's Gary.
Vallahi, amanın
I'm not
vallahi,
on, right?
No. Well, that's picking up.
Listen, Gary, when they recorded him, I always had to be buried in the reverb.
Really? Yeah, that's so funny.
You recorded one of his albums at your studio.
Yeah. But not with Gary. Roger.
bahçede gider, dalları yerden, sevdiğim komşu kızım, aklıdaki izler. Amanın vallahi, severim billahi, çekerim silahi.
This is like early Harry.
Vurdum talayı, amanın vallahi, severim billahi,
It's not Roger.
çekerim silahi.
Roger was at this time, I think he was
Vurdum
5.
talayı.
Yeah, sure. Just a kid. I remember Mike telling me the story about Fred. He says, he will not be joining you back at the cafe back there. He's going to stay in this club until he pays back his debt. Mr. Elias will not be joining you.
Manny, when they came out with Manny in Las Vegas.
Oh my God. I never heard stories like that about Harry.
No, Manny. Yeah.
45 seconds and then we're back.
Bahçede bülbül, sende bir hal var, anlama yalvar, onda çok iş var. Amanın vallahi, severim billahi, çekerim silahi.
Well, that's Sabah is I always found it to be an odd thing.
Vurdum talayı, amanın vallahi, severim billahi, çekerim
Someone singing with
silahi.
him.
Vurdum talayı.
That was Mr. Fred Elias there on the violin, and Harry Minassian on oud and vocals from the album Middle East Enchantments, which I believe was his first album for Harry Minassian, a classic record. And we had Harry Bedrosian had said that the cover of that record, it was photographed at the Seventh Veil. Harry, you tell us a little bit about your history there with Harry Bedrosian, with Harry Minassian.
I have to preempt it a little bit. So, at the time, I was studying oud with Zaven, this oud player from Rhode Island, Zaven Donovan.
Oh, wow.
And then from there, you know, he would tell me about who he listened to, or actually not only who he listened to, but who he studied with. And so when I was studying with John, you know, John would, I'd say, John, who should I be listening to? And he would say, ironically enough, the guy that's in your studio, he goes, you listen to Joe Kyumjin, because, you know, because I would go to New Jersey to study with John, but I would say locally, because I was only, you know, 16, 17 years old.
Wow.
He said, you listen to John. He said, then go listen to Harry. He goes, that's if you want to learn to play the oud right. So at the time, you know, there was a place called the Seventh Veil, which is where that album was, you know, taken, the picture was taken. And at that time, the drinking age was 18, but everyone was kind of family there, you know. And I would actually go and sit in the corner at the bar, and then and just listen to Harry, George, and I think at the time it might have been Leo Osamanian, Greg Ginn, you know, there were a host of Roger, there was a host of different drummers that came in and out of there. But what was interesting with Harry would always, I'd be in the corner sitting and, you know, listening and, you know, and drinking the same drink that Harry would drink, because I admired him that much, so whatever he did, I did, in that regard. And, you know, and have a VO on the rocks. And he would come over and, you know, he'd say, how's your oud lessons going? And literally took me under his wing. He would basically say, if you really want to play, he said, you got to learn how to sing. And he says, you can't just play oud anymore. You got to learn how to sing. And I was just singing Beatles songs back in those days. And he really, literally took me under his wing as an entertainer. And of course, you know, as did Joe and John as well. But Harry was always, you know, I remember sitting at the Carwin restaurant, and we were sitting at the bar together, just, you know, talking, and there was a band playing, and I said to him, I said, how is it that you can just play 3 notes, or you can just scope a crowd and know exactly what song to play? And I played with him many times playing keyboard. And I'd say, hey, Harry, come on, do this song. And he'd just look at me and goes, not the right time.
Wow.
And he just knew how to read a crowd. And I had an uncle who passed many years ago who we'd go in together sometimes, and he could tell, like, within 10 minutes if Harry was going to be fired up to play or not. You know, he just had that knack of reading the crowd and playing the right song, playing the right notes. I mean, he was just incredible entertainer.
Wow.
I agree.
One of the million things I've learned from Harry. Also, I said this in a bit of a obit that I had written on Facebook, but not this past 4th of July, but the 4th of July prior, Kenny and I and Leon, we were playing 4th of July, and Harry was kind of the guest artist, you know. But in the beginning of the night, he had brought me these 2, I would say, encyclopedia type book, and they were both autographed to Harry from the Kamun player Eshbet, you know.
Oh.
And he pulled me over and he said, I want you to have these. And so I got obviously more choked up than I'll ever lead on. He said, don't ever get rid of these books. and he autographed it as well. He goes, these are for you. And he goes, every right word, every song is in this, so you never have to worry about hunting for words, etc. They're all here. And I think Eshbet had given him those two books maybe 50 some odd years ago. So I've got them in my possession, and they'll never leave me.
Nice story.
That is just
Beautiful
amazing.
Story.
What a wonderful, wonderful treasure of music and great history. I remember at one of those nights that we had in Shiraz, that was it was Harry Minassian night, that you at the end of the night you had played a song and you sang it to him, and we all were standing around and listening. Do you remember what that song was?
Yeah, it was actually an Udi Haran song that he composed and sang on, I think, on 78. But it was one of Harry's staple songs. I mean, he had many, but that specifically was one that I did for him. I remember when I picked up the oud to do it, I was, I actually really couldn't play the oud that. I was shaking because I had John in front of me. I remember it like it was yesterday. Harry to the left of me, and Joe, and then a bunch of other people, and just staring. And there's nothing more nerve-wracking than playing in front of your peers, especially when they're a oud player. So, but yeah, about that was that the very next day, Harry had actually called me, and was thanking me and complimenting me, etc. And he said, he goes, it's like I've heard that song a million times. He goes, you did it, like your style. He goes, and I really enjoyed it, but he goes, why did he was surprised that I would have done something like that, or tribute him, make a tribute to him, because he was a very shy. He was actually a pretty shy guy.
Was he?
And incredibly modest. And I think all the guys that are there would certainly attest to that. It was he was just that kind of entertainer. He was just so modest. He couldn't believe that anyone would pay tribute. He was, that anyone would pay tribute to him. He was just, ha ha ha, laughing.
Telephone is son from Rhode Island.
Can we put him on hold?
No.
Yeah. I guess he took his music.
Just tell him that you got to take another call because we got to get all set up too.
How much he meant to us.
Thank you,
I don't think he ever had that kind of
Gary
deal.
or Mark.
I don't know if that makes sense.
One of them.
But I think
From
his
Rhode Island.
modesty was, he just wanted to be around the guy. He was that kind of guy,
Wow, Harry. That's thank you so much for sharing those memories with us. And he'll be very much missed. And but the good thing is, I mean, life is about making memories, isn't it? And so when you can have people stand up and say, "Hey, this guy really was something," then that's a good thing. It really is. Harry, we've got another call coming in that we want to take.
Press the auto answer, so it won't. Press the auto answer.
Should I press the auto answer?
Yep.
Okay.
And then that way it'll go on.
And we're going to be wrapping up here anyway because we have to get ready for the next program. But thank you for calling in. Yeah, I hope so, Harry. That would be great. Okay, take care. Bye. Can we get that call?
Sure, just press it and see if they should be on.
Hello, you're listening to the Echoes of Kef Time.
Hi, this is Gary Minassian, Harry's son.
Oh, hi, Gary. How are you?
Hey, Gary!
Hey! Do you guys want to put on your headphones if you can? Come closer to the mic because this is going to be the last thing. Thank you so much for calling in. You heard the program. Did you know this was going on, or was this a surprise? Did anyone?
He liked to play the instrument, but he was so in that room right there, Johnny, Joe, he enjoyed their playing so much. He was a big fan of theirs. And also Kenny and Leon, who we played with a lot over the years. They were very dear friends to him. They all were. And I wanted to say thank you for the tribute to my dad. It really meant a lot. And they're the finest gentlemen right there sitting in that room. And I can't say enough about them all. And
thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary.
Always remember, Gary, always remember your dad, and they have an expression in Armenian, Mechin Guka, which means it comes from within. Your father played from his heart and his soul, and that's what separated him from a lot of people, and people knew it. You could see it. You could see it from the audience. You could see it from the musicians caught onto it, and that's our biggest takeaway. We loved him.
That's a recording of it.
That's so great. Okay, Gary, thank you for calling in. I want to thank all of you for coming in today and doing this special tribute for remembering Harry Minassian, who left us recently, left this life, but we know that he's gone to a much better place, and that someday we hope to see him again. He was 83 years old when he passed away on June 26, 2020. We're going to close the show with some more tracks from Harry's record, which we played at the beginning of the program. Folks, is there anything else that we'd like to say before we go?
I'd like to say that speaking for all of us, we're going to miss him very much. It's not going to be quite the same without Harry on that stage, and we always look forward to hearing him. His personality and his musicianship came out simultaneously when you went to see Harry.
Yeah, very much missed. Thank you again. Please stay tuned. Coming up at the top of the hour, we have the Armenian program with Viviana Dragani, and that should be starting shortly. Thank you.
There you go.
Excellent. Thank you.
That was great. That was great. And I'm sorry to rush you. I just gotta be switching shows right now, and it's all automated.
Do you have to record her show?
Yeah.
Did you? Okay, so I'm gonna lose this. Okay, let me shut this off.
You got a lot of face.